Welcome to the Two Steps Ahead podcast, starring Robert Sean McGrew and Raul Ruiz, talking business, strategy, and growth, helping you stay 2 steps ahead. Let's get to work.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Two Steps Ahead podcast. I'm Robert Sean McGrew.
I'm Raul Ruiz. How's it going?
Hey man, we're glad to be back in action, and glad you're home, bro. Yeah, between you and I don't know, we took a couple months off. No, I'm just kidding. It feels like it.
Literally we have. We have.
And we got the holidays coming up and all. There's been lots of things have happened here in recent times. We'll start off with, you were gone, I was having FOMO with you being on this cruise, and tell us about it, man.
It was great. I've never been on a cruise. First time cruise person. I've never done it, but it was incredible. We did a Disney cruise.
A Disney cruise?
Yeah, we went to Cozumel. Went to Cozumel. It was incredible.
Nice.
And then the food was great. Then from there, we went to Castaway Cay, where, believe it or not, I actually did a 5K, brother.
What?
Yeah. I didn't run it. I just walked it.
Okay. It's all good, man. It's all good.
But it was incredible. The weather was awesome. It was like 90 degrees, 95 degrees, sunny, on the beach. Did a lot of drinking. It was incredible, man. We actually had a bet to see who was going to get seasick on the cruise.
Yeah.
Nobody got sick.
Awesome. That's good. That's a good thing.
It was incredible. I definitely highly recommend 10 out of 10 right here. It was incredible, dude. If you ever get a chance to go on a cruise, Disney cruise, thumbs up.
It's been so many years I've been on a cruise. My family hasn't been on one, and they tell me about it as well. So, yeah, hopefully in the near future, next year sometime, that we will get a chance. But yeah, hopefully you guys as well out there listening, take some time for yourself. We've talked about it. Self-care is very important, and family time is also just as important. So hopefully,
absolutely.
Yeah. So speaking of that, family time. So as I've shared before, my kids are mountain bikers, born and bred in Bentonville. You got to get on MPB, baby. And they finished up their NICA season here a couple of weeks ago with the state championships in Fayetteville. And for the first time, NICA, as a national organization, had a regional event, and it was held in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Nice.
11 states came here, and all these athletes. It's just amazing for all of them to participate. My son, it was high school level only, so my son got to participate. My daughter didn't, but nonetheless, it was just amazing. It was 39 degrees. A week before with the state finals, it was perfect. It was like it is now with 70 degrees and sunshine.
Weather. Arkansas weather.
Yes, it was 39 and cloudy, and people showed up. The team showed up. Northwest Arkansas showed up. My son showed up, and he finished. And it's not always about what place you get or being the best. Sometimes it's about getting through it and finishing it. And
that's
he
right.
did. He rode in 6 races this year.
Wow.
And he finished every single one of them.
That's awesome. That's dedication right there.
Absolutely. The dedication that this dad doesn't have, because you get me on a mountain bike, I'm going, woo.
And I think he did actually one time. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 times.
Who's counting? That's not material. Let's get back to the program. So thank you for being here, folks. So other things that have been going on here recently, too. We've got all kinds of events happening here in Northwest Arkansas. Our ecosystem keeps on growing. And from a 13-year absence, TEDx Bentonville returned.
That's awesome. I saw that. Congratulations on that.
That was awesome.
Right.
It was at the Momentary in the Roadhouse. Mm-hmm. And I have to give a big shout out to Elizabeth Perry, who's the licensee and curator this year. And thank you for bringing it back to Bentonville. It was a 13-year absence. Myself and my good friend Virginia, we co-curated the first one back in 2012. Remember the year the world was supposed to end?
Yeah.
Everything was supposed to just...
Wait, the 5th time or the 6th time?
Yeah.
One of those times, right?
Yeah. We won't say the next one. but anyway, it was fun. And I will tell you, top notch. Those videos are going to be coming out soon in true TEDx fashion, and be watching for them.
I've never been to one of those.
It's amazing.
Never have been. I've seen videos, right, on YouTube, which are pretty cool. So I'm envisioning a pretty cool atmosphere there.
It was really cool.
That's
awesome. Really cool. All the speakers, top notch.
Nice.
Wait till you see the videos.
Nice. I do also want to say something. I know you did that, but here last week I got the opportunity to go to Dallas, and I traveled to Dallas and did TalentNet Live Dallas 2025, which was incredible. I got to meet a ton of people in the industry. Of course, as I'm a recruiter and I've been doing it for almost 20 years. It was great to meet new people, just a new area, a new atmosphere, environment, whatever you want to call it. It was just incredible to meet new people. I got to meet the CEO of Flockity. So if you haven't visited Flockity, check out Flockity. Again, we'll probably put a little link right there so you can see it. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on everywhere at all times. Be part of it. Be part of that ecosystem, and which kind of leads us into our conversation today.
Yeah, you said the word new.
Yeah.
That has a resounding theme, especially in Northwest Arkansas in general. And that new translates into a word called startup or startups. And we are so vivid and full of ideas in this area. A lot of people don't realize, yes, we've got all the big corporations, you can name all of them on your hand, and then some, we've got all the people that have moved here from different areas that have worked for some other bigger names, from Fortune 1 to 500, you name it. There's representation here. But it's not short of ideas. Ideas is where things start to incubate and where they start solving problems. And so today, we want to talk about startups in general, because Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas in general, the ecosystem here is very concentrated. And I want to rebuff a myth. Everybody thinks, and when they hear startups, what is the first thing they think? Tech. And not everything is tech, but there's a combination and a crossroads of where tech and solving problem can come together. And here in Northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, we have quite a bit of that. Whether it's retail, logistics, CPG, healthcare, AI, ML, there's all kinds of different things that are going on and happening. So today, and a little bit later, we're going to have a guest right here on our show to talk about a new startup, and he just started this like really recently. And there's a reason we want to bring him on, because we think that he's really onto something, and his idea and solution will resonate with you, we hope.
Yeah, I think one of the themes for today's podcast is that there has to be a problem that needs to be solved, right?
That's great.
If you find out what that problem is, you will eventually find the solution. And that's what a startup is, right? They find solutions for problems that are out there. It doesn't have to be a new invention. It's just something new to fix that issue. And that's what we're going to be touching on in a couple different ways in this podcast today.
And you touched on something else there that I want to lean into for a moment. As a consultant, as a mentor, and as an advisor, that's one of the things I can't tell you how many times I run into when I talk to somebody. Say, hey, I got an idea, or hey, I've started something. Is it great? What's your goal? What are you trying to solve? And a lot of times they just go straight to money. Oh, I want to make $10 million. Great. Who does it? Who doesn't want to do that?
Exactly.
Oh, I just think it's the next cool thing. Awesome, but what's exciting about that completely. But if you come to me and you tell me, hey, I'm trying to solve for this, and here's why, I can lean into that. And I think today's guest is going to show you what we're talking about exactly in that spirit of things. But one thing I want to encourage all of you that are listening, if you have an idea and you don't know where to go, there's lots of resources. Connect with me, connect with Raul. We'll get you injected into this ecosystem here. There are programs, there are accelerators, there's funds, and there's people and mentors and advisors that are willing to help you on your journey. But if you never write it down and you never take it forward, it'll just stay in your head.
Exactly. And I will say, this guy is totally connected with people in San Francisco, Vegas, East Coast, West Coast, anything you could think of. So definitely put some comments at the bottom. Let's start a conversation. You never know. And if you do have that $1 million idea, we're definitely interested.
But it has to be solving something.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right. All right. On that note, I think we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our guest.
Hey everybody, and we're back. We have our special guest here today, Daniel LeSieur. Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, awesome. So he's going to be talking about his startup. We talked about the ecosystem here in Northwest Arkansas. It's a great ecosystem, and this guy right here has something cool to talk about today.
I really enjoyed listening to him, and I'll tell you that I only heard 60 seconds and I was in. I'm bought in, and I want to hear and see how this is going to go. Now, I know you're still working on this, early stages and all, but that's the whole spirit of entrepreneurship, right? Is having an idea and baking on it. So tell us what you're baking, Daniel.
Yeah, just a quick history. In 23, I formed my own product management consulting company, and through some mentors over the last 2 years, they told me to develop my own products. And so I really did some self-evaluation to figure out what matters to me most. And I broke it down into 3 components, and it's called do, share, and improve. And no matter what we've ever done in life, somebody has done it, somebody's shared it, somebody's found a way to improve it. And so it has simplified that mission, vision, and strategy. And so this past year I was presented with a problem or an opportunity, and that's how the idea came about. And so the Family Journal is just a private digital timeline or summary of memories, experiences, feelings, and fun times and laughs that your family has shared that you want to pass down. And about 6 months ago, I started trying to learn how to vibe code, trying to figure out if I could do this on my own. Being a product manager, there's certainly sometimes a wall or a stigma between product and development. And I really thought I could help gap some of that. And I kept running into walls, and I found some tools to help. But as a young entrepreneur and new in the space and the SaaS world, I've really tried to stay focused on the mission of how can I capture my family's favorite laughs this holiday season. And that's been my goal for my MVP.
What I really like what you've done, Daniel, is the thought of taking real world into the digital presence, right? So when you're talking, you're sharing your idea, I think about scrapbooking back in the day and family photo albums, right? We used to take pictures. Yes, we used to actually print those things that you see on the digital page. And some of the kids out there is, what the heck are you talking about? Anyway, go get a Polaroid. Look up Polaroid. Google it. And anyway, we would put them into these books and stuff. And then, yes, sometimes when we had family gatherings, we would pull them out. And remember this birthday party? Remember when we took the trip to Disney World and things? But you're actually taking that space and those memories and mashing it together into something that could be everlasting.
Yeah, so just this past week in testing, I uploaded all my favorite concert tickets.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if my nieces will ever know what a concert ticket is.
Don't talk to my wife, because I've got a box full in the garage and she's been telling me to get rid of all my boxes.
Yeah, but it's a great way to digitally transform, okay, why was this important, or what was going on in your life that
absolutely.
you wanted to see this, and was this your first time at their show, and how was it? And so it creates a conversation. And more importantly, we tag those conversations, so at any point in time, you're invited family members, and that's key. It's not open to everyone. This is not we're trying to connect the world kind of opportunity. This is for you and your family, so that your family history and your family work ethics and beliefs can be understood by the next generation or a future generation.
Yeah, we're in the digital world now, right? Everything is digital. And talk about Polaroids, talk about all the things that happen throughout time, that the pictures that we've taken, the memories that we have of all that, everything now is going to be digitalized and be kept in online on the cloud or whatever the case may be. So it's a great way to know, or for your grandkids to know who you were, or your great grandkids to know who you were, what you did, what you liked, have those memories there for life, right? That's basically what it is. So what got you started in something like that? How did you come up with the idea? What led to it? It's a great idea. So how did you think about it?
Yeah, I hope she doesn't mind. So we'll put the family business out there for the podcast. But about a year ago, my wife was diagnosed with cancer, and she has a very small family. And I wanted to make sure that as Amy progressed and fought through this opportunity, that we provided an opportunity for her niece and great nephew, or who we affectionately refer to as her grandson, have a relationship with her beyond what's happening right now. And I'm never going to be able to remember those stories to pass along. So how do you use the digital footprint that we have in order to create that kind of history? If you don't know about what's going on, or you don't have something to share, the Family Journal app will prompt you. And we added a feature this week that's date related. So if you choose to enter your age or your birth year, it will look at today and go, okay, Raul, what was high school like? And it will look at your timeline and go, hey, I don't have any memories from Raul from his 20s. And it may be because Raul doesn't remember his 20s. I don't know.
This has a lot to do with it for sure.
Could be the sponsor.
Go see the previous session with Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah, I remember that.
But he remembers his 30s, right? And so he remembers the struggle and the young family and those opportunities. And so the timeline is impacted and enriched through this AI model that evaluates where you're at and what we have stories of. So it may be you've got enough funny stories, but you don't have enough sentimental. So it'll ask a very specific question that's a little bit more sentimental toned. Now, for me, being slightly sarcastic and impersonal at times, you'll get a little bit of that personality coming through with even those sentimental questions. And the goal is later in 26, we want to create a digital embodiment so that my niece, myself, can call upon my wife digitally and say, okay, what would Amy do in this situation? Do we have any opportunities in her timeline that had to do with, I just got pulled over by the cops, what should I do next?
That's
Or,
awesome.
hey, how'd she handle this financial opportunity in her life? What did she do to get out of it? And how did she consider her options? And so really being able to pull that persona forward and give you a rich embodiment of your family members.
So it's going to give us a very intimate view of that individual and what they would have done in certain situations, right? And get to know that person basically one-on-one without that person being there.
Yep.
I like the personal touch, and the prompting is very important. It's almost, and I'm going to say another term that you younger generations don't understand, time capsules. I got to be part of a time capsule when I was in San Antonio when the Alamo Dome was built and all. And everybody in the city was asked to bring something to put into the time capsule. I don't remember what I put in there, but I put something in there. But what I liked about your prompting is that it actually is going to ask me something, and I will remember it when I see it, and or if somebody's with me, they're going to remember it. And so when you do go and try to search, it's something meaningful. So I can go search the Alamo Dome right now and ask what items were in there. I still can't tell you what it was I put in there. But this is a whole, the personalization that you're doing to it. It's amazing, and I think that's great. It's going to be great for families.
I think the other opportunity is we all hear the same joke, but we all don't react the same way. And the same happens with family stories. And you're going to upload a memory, and then somebody else is going to give their video or audio content of their experience in that same situation. It could be a wedding or quinceañera or graduation. Maybe it's a new house and you're having a housewarming party. Whatever that special moment is that you upload, everybody can contribute to it. And when you hear all of that perspective of what they thought of that event or that picture or that photo, no one goes unnoticed. And I use this example all the time. If we go through old photo albums, there's somebody on every page that no one has a clue who that person is. But now we have an opportunity to reduce that to a very minimum and a very small segment. And so everybody knows exactly, okay, we were out on the farm and we were picking berries, or we were out pumpkin farming for Halloween, whatever it may be. But it's just the photo doesn't become lost for the atmosphere around it. So
It gets immortalized.
yeah.
So as we're called the 2 Steps Ahead podcast, and so as a startup yourself, what are some advice you can give to other people who either have an idea that haven't even started, maybe they're incubating right now, or maybe they're off and running a little bit like you are? What are some suggestions you have for getting your idea rolling?
That's really, to stay 2 steps ahead. It's figuring out that you have a problem that somebody else has. And so that means that you have to admit you have a problem. And there's a whole 12-step program for most of those other things. But it's the same process of discovery, and take your time figuring out whether or not you have a problem. When I came up with, not necessarily this idea, but when I began vetting this problem, I was sitting on a plane and I asked the person next to me, and she was in her early 60s, she shared her age, and she has 2 children in their 30s who both have grandkids, and she wants to beat both of her children to death with those books that answer all of life's questions. Now, she got one for this year's birthday from her daughter. She got one from last year's birthday that's the exact same from her son. And she wants to beat them to death with the same book that she refuses to fill out. And that's when I do, okay, the more I ask this question, the more I'm going to find out how important it is and how people value it at different age groups. So I got her value from her point of view. Yes, she wants to share, but when she wanted to share, she wasn't ready, or the kids weren't ready.
Right.
Now the kids are ready. and mom's not ready by the medium, right? Mom doesn't want to write it down, but mom's willing to sit there for 5 minutes a day and answer a question. And so I began to continue to refine that problem and how do I make that as tangible as possible. And then I began to multiply that problem out. And I found that there's a lot of family members or a lot of friends and family members that also have recordings of family members that have passed, their fathers, their aunts, their uncles, their moms. And even though it's just a voicemail message, it sounds something like you delete it so fast, but they're not getting rid of their devices. They're keeping up with that for an eternity. And so how do you be able to put that somewhere safe and know that you can rely on that? This is the same thing, except we may get an additional point.
You hit the nail on the head. It's very personal to myself, and that exact situation actually happened to me. I was overseas when my father passed, and he had called me and left me a voicemail a few days before I actually had left. And long story short, didn't get here, and all my brother came in and took care of things and all. But I had that voicemail, and I didn't delete it. And I kept it until that phone died, and I had to get a new phone, and I could not switch that over, and I lost it. And I still think about it. So when you said that, it hit hard, because it is one of those things, those memories that you want to hold on to. Now, today's digital age and clouds and everything, we can do that. And you're leaning into, again, the problem for some people like myself, and that would have liked to have something that they could hold on to a little bit longer and share for others. That's awesome.
Yeah. As we touched on earlier in our conversation when we started the podcast, and we talked about AI, we talked about the startups and everything else that's going on with the environment, with startups specifically. And this is just another example of how AI has become so relevant in our world, from anything having to do with technology, recruiting technology, health technology, anything technology has AI embedded in it one way or another. So
Absolutely.
it's a great idea. Thank you for sharing that with us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And,
Happy to be part of the other side of the audience.
That's great. We're glad to have you here. And
glad to have you for sure. Thank you.
yes, thank you much. Appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll be right back. And we are back.
Awesome. Daniel was cool, man. That was like, wow.
Yeah.
As you heard me talk about my own dad and stuff, that's something I wish I would have had. And I think a lot of people out there listening can resonate. And we were talking just a while ago about solving problems. Some people may say, well, that's not a problem. I can just turn on my videos and turn on my phone. And yeah, you can do that. But you're going to have a piece here. And he's really working on bringing it all together.
Yeah, this is one place where you can have access to that information at any given time, literally now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now. So that's what makes it important. And sometimes ideas come from pain points, right?
Yes.
And this does come from an idea that, a very painful idea, but at the same time, it's going to be rewarding in so many different ways to the families that are involved. And I think having that idea, solving that issue, is going to leave a footprint for many generations to come. And I think it's a fantastic idea.
You touched on it earlier about being meaningful and solving for something that's meaningful as well. When it's close to you, you're going to be more passionate about it because it has a meaning to it. If you're just doing it because, oh, somebody else did it, and a perfect example, and there's nothing wrong, I'm going to preface this, being a YouTuber or a TikToker, and there's all of our kids want to be one and stuff, get it. But what's the purpose behind it? What are you really trying to do? What's the message you're trying to portray? Daniel showed us today something with heart, something that's close to him, his family, and how he's putting that together. Mm-hmm. And I would argue that even many entrepreneurs, even if it never went beyond his family, he's accomplished and solved something. We both believe that this is going to go way beyond that, and it'll be a global thing before you know it, and everybody will be using it.
Yeah.
But definitely, bringing something close to you, something you know about, that's how you solve something. It doesn't matter what it is. Most inventions, which there really hasn't been a really true invention in quite a while, but most inventors came because they had a problem. Electricity, plumbing, air conditioning, cotton, clothes. It all came from somebody saying there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? There's got to be a better way for anything and everything. And if somebody feels the way you do, more than likely there's going to be other people that feel the same way. So that's where ideas come from. That's where startups come from, right? You have to have a passion for what you're doing, for what you're creating, for what you're putting out in the world. And if you have that passion, there's going to be people that are going to, I don't know if I should use this term, buy into it, but definitely feel comfortable knowing what it does and what it's meant for.
I agree with that. And that's one of the reasons we started the Two Steps Ahead podcast as well, right? We want to help. We want to share. We want to bring topics like this together to help you out and to help you move forward in whatever it is that you're doing, wherever it is that you're at, and maybe just something that you need to hear or rehear. That's what we're trying to do, just to get some little snippets here and there. Today, it's about ideas, entrepreneurship, and startups.
Yeah, with that said, I do want to make sure that everybody does get the gist of what Daniel came to talk to us today about. And I am going to put somewhere along the line up here information on either his website, his contact information if you want to contact him. I'm sure he's okay with email and stuff like that. I think he's also going to go ahead and make sure that nonprofits profit from something like this. There's going to be something that he's going to be donating to. So if it's okay with him, I'm going to go ahead and put that up there as well. Again, I'll have his information up there for you to view, his website, and definitely once it becomes live and comes live out there, join, participate, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll make sure Daniel sees them and we get your response.
Which makes me remember what you usually do. I'm going to take your job right now. Subscribe and comment below.
That's right. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a great presentation, a great podcast. We had an awesome interviewee who we almost didn't have today, but he did make it though. So I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you for making it.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. And if you find meaning in what we're doing here, please share with others. We're both here on YouTube and Spotify, soon to be another platform out there, but please share it across with your friends and families. And we look forward to seeing you right here on the next episode of the Two Steps Ahead podcast.
See you. Have a good one.